Hi guys, so Mrs. Walker here, Head of Science, and I'm here today to talk to you about BTEC Applied Science and why actually it's a really great option for those people who want to study science at Sixth Form. So to start us off, as a qualification, it is a 2-year course and it is the equivalent of one A-level, and it's really great course to study in the sense that it really enables people to build their logical thinking skills, and this will help you in many different careers. So whilst some of you may be thinking about picking up some extra science because they found it interesting at GCSE, that they generally enjoy the fact that there's a practical element to it, it isn't entirely all bookwork, and it has a lot of skills that are transferable to many different careers. So a lot of people choose to take the BTEC Applied Science because they like to showcase those skills, but they don't necessarily want to just take one A-level in, say, biology. What is great about this course is that it actually helps students who don't necessarily want to have all of their assessment at the end of the course, because the BTEC qualification actually enables you to have assessments throughout the course, some of which are externally assessed exams, but are generally a lot shorter than the A-level exams. And it also has assessments that you complete and hand into your teachers throughout the time of the course. So for those people who don't necessarily want to sit an exam and have everything waiting on the end of year 13, the BTEC is a really great option. It's also a great option because it isn't a part of biology, chemistry, and physics. It's all three of them put together. And there's something so unique about that is really wonderful, because it allows people to get a really strong sense of what is happening in the world around them through studying all three sciences that sometimes you kind of lose when you're just studying and focusing on one. So I think really that it's a wonderful course. And in terms of, from a student perspective, there's lots of really wonderful ways in which you can demonstrate your knowledge, but also have the chance to have a bit of fun while doing it. Science is predominantly a social subject, and the reality is that the BTEC is designed to help build those skills in a social context where you would work with other people to design and build experiments, to test them out, and actually then write about them, which realistically is what doing science is actually all about. So there are 4 units, and the first unit is Unit 1, which is Principles and Applications of Science. Now, this is the unit that is actually all about the science you're learning. So, it covers animal and plant cells, it covers atomic structure, it covers chemical and physical properties of substances, and the physics elements are very closely linked to application. This is a BTEC in applied science. So it's not really just about kind of knowledge for the sake of knowledge. It's actually about how does it affect our life and how is that relevant to us. So a lot of it is very relevant to our current day and what is going on. So this first unit is a lot of the necessary scientific knowledge that you would need to understand the applications of science. And this is the main externally assessed unit. It is assessed with 3 40-minute exams, 1 in biology, 1 in chemistry, and 1 in physics. You get the chance to sit that in year 12, and should you not get the grade that you want, you also get the chance to resit it later on, which is something that is really fabulous about BTEC Applied Science that isn't actually available in an A-level. The second unit is actually all about practicals. Now, this is an internally assessed unit with 4 different assignments, and I've put up the wording here that you can come back and read, because I'll put this PowerPoint up as well, but there's a lot of very big words there that say you're going to learn some really cool scientific techniques, because that's exactly what this unit is all about. It's designed to give you the ability to walk into a lab and actually use all of the apparatus and be able to use it properly, proficiently, and be confident in doing it. So there's a huge amount of practical. So whilst this looks really wordy and there's a lot of writing there. The reality is this is what it looks like. From a science BTEC kind of level, a lot of the time these are doing experiments with other people in the lab. You're not necessarily doing it all by yourself. You are able to work with other people. And a lot of the time, actually, rather than it being this picture on the side, or just you by yourself in a lab looking down a microscope doing that work, the reality is actually, as I said, science is a very social subject, and in terms of working together and things like that, I would say the second picture is probably a lot more accurate in terms of what it's actually like to study science. So that second unit is all about getting lab skills, and that's designed so that you could walk into any laboratory and you would be able to safely complete practical tasks, which is really what this is looking at, because it's a highly vocational course. The next unit is the last externally assessed unit. There are only 2 externally assessed units within the BTEC. And this is also about your science investigation skills. And really, it's testing your ability to think scientifically and to do an investigation and see it through. So this is actually an investigation that's completed under set conditions. And you will sit an experiment that's set by BTEC, and then you'll write up about it. So it's actually really quite a nice assignment, and students tend to do quite well in it. And then the last unit, the last unit is probably the most exciting, because actually there's an element of choice with this. And there are a few different units that you could say as your 4th unit. We tend to choose this unit based on the students that we have on the course. So in previous years, we've had a lot of people who studied sport alongside BTEC Applied Science. So a lot of the time we use the physiology of human body systems as a great unit to really help build up that strong understanding of the human body systems, especially for people who want to go into careers such as sports science. And this is a very popular unit with those. But actually, there is a range of people, and if that's not you, there are some other units there that might be more relevant. And that's a discussion that you'll have with your teacher when you start the course in year 12, but you don't move on to this unit until year 13. So again, this is an internally assessed unit with a number of assignments depending on the unit that's chosen. So I hope I've given you a really rough idea of what BTEC looks like. And I would like to really hammer home that this is a highly practical qualification. The majority of the time that you'll be in the lab, you will be expected to be working on the lab practical skills, doing titrations, doing colorimetry, designing experiments and carrying them out, and then completing assignments that you will then write up and hand into your teacher as part of your assessment. It's a great course for those people who are interested in all through sciences and don't want to limit themselves. Or if you've generally had a love of science throughout your GCSE and you want to extend that a bit further, but you might kind of consider going into a career afterwards that wasn't necessarily considered scientific. It's great for those kind of people, because universities love people who do science qualifications, because they're not easy. And I will never say that the BTEC is easy, because it's not. It is just as hard as an A level in science, but you're doing a little bit of biology, a little bit of chemistry, and a little bit of physics, and that suits a lot of people better than just studying one. So depending on what you're looking at, this could probably be the perfect course for you. So assuming now that you're bowled over, you definitely want to study BTEC Applied Science, there is a pack that is up with this lesson with a few different activities that you can complete to get yourself ready for BTEC Applied Science. There are some books and some movies and things that are just generally of science interest, because the BTEC in Applied Science is all about the application of science. And as such, really, it's not just about the science itself. It's about how do we use it in our lives. So a lot of that is probably going to be quite interesting, and you might want to just read them and look at them just because you're interested yourself, even if you don't pick up the course. There is, at the end of the pack, some assignments that you can complete to get a flavour of what it's like to work on assignment and do some research, and then write up a task. So that's designed to get you used to the idea of what it's like to complete assignments in BTEC Applied Science. So you can have a go at those and then hand them in September when you join us on the course. I hope this has helped you, and I hope that you're as interested about this course as I am, and I hope to see you all in September. See you soon.